Welcome, my name is Dave Martin, and I'm going to be putting together some videos for SketchUp instruction. So let's get started. I've already started SketchUp 2023. We'll be using the SketchUp Pro 2023 version, and before we start drawing, we're going to go over the graphics user interface and show you what palettes to open up to help you complete these projects. So I'm going to start with the simple template in inches. So I'm going to click on this, and then this is the first time this is what you may see when you first open up SketchUp Pro 2023. So let me just talk about the different parts of the screen. So this major area is your drawing area. The blue, the green, and the red lines indicate the origin of the file. Red is your X axis, green is your Y, and blue is your Z. And then the template file provides you with this person standing here. We're going to delete her. So to delete elements, you just click on the element and hit delete on your keyboard, or you can hit the eraser tool up here at the top and click on the element. Okay, your call. So I'm going to close this palette. So the way you get to the palettes is you're going to go to View, Toolbars, and then this gives you a list of all the different tools that are available. So there's a few here that we're going to be opening up. We're not opening up all of these. That would just be too much. So I'm going to close Getting Started. So you can see the tool palette is closed up here. And then I'm going to open up the large tool set. It'll be docked on the left. Then we're going to go down here a little bit and we'll open up the principal. Oh, actually not the principal, sorry. We're going to be opening up Section, Shadows, Solid Tools, Standard, Styles, and Views. This is showing you the different standard views, and Warehouse. Okay, and by the way, I'm going to be explaining these tools as we go through them. I'm not just going to go over all the tools at one time. I'm going to try to use them in context. So let's hit close, and then we'll just arrange these tools a little bit more logically here. So we've got this standard toolbar up here with new, open, save. We also have cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, and so forth. Over here on the right is the default tray. And you can expand out these trays by clicking on these arrows here next to the different names of the different trays. So I'm going to open up all of these, and we'll be scrolling through these as we go through the project here. There we go. And you also have an instructor tray, which when you click on the tool when you click on a particular tool, it gives you a brief description of that tool. So I've clicked on eraser already. If I click on a different tool, like say pencil or the line tool, it gives me some descriptions of how to use that tool. Okay, so we'll be explaining all this as we go. So what I've done here, and you'll see a link for this in the description of the video, is I've provided you with a PDF of the project we're going to be drawing. So this gives you a top, front, and right side view of the project. This is our project 1 that we're going to be drawing. So I'm going to be walking you through the entire process, and then at the end of this, we'll also go into the layout software and create a set of layout views using that software. So this is a software that comes with SketchUp Pro called Layout. We'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, so let's start with the shape. So let me go back to the project here. So what we're going to be doing is, first of all, we're going to be drawing this base slab. So we're going to be using the line tool to draw this outline at 3.5 by 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the rectangle tool. So I'm going to click on rectangle, and then we're going to snap right here at the origin. So you can see as you move your mouse around, it's going to lock onto this origin. So this is going to be the lower left corner of our solid. and then we'll drag up and to the right, so we're in the positive coordinates. And then if you look over there on the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see the dimensions show up. So we're going to type in the width first and then the height. So 3 space 1/2 for 3.5, comma, and then the depth is 2. Enter. Okay, it's going to look a little bit small. So the way you zoom in to see everything, you have a choice here. You can either do the zoom extents tool over here on the left, or you can wheel in with your mouse. So I'm going to put my mouse, let me first clear the command by hitting the element selection tool. Okay, so I'm going to put my mouse over the rectangle that I just drew and then wheel up, and that will zoom in. And a little bit about zooming, you can also rotate the view by holding down the middle mouse button, the wheel of your mouse like a button. If you hold down the shift key and hold down the middle mouse button, it will pan your view without changing the magnification. Okay, and then if you hold down shift and wheel up or down, it will zoom as well. Okay, so let's give this some thickness here. So going back to the drawing, the height of this portion of the model is 3/4 of an inch. So let's go to push-pull, and then we're going to click on the surface and drag up, and then we'll type in the distance as 3/4. There you go. Okay, so we've got our base slab in place. Now we need to lay out the upper shape. So this has a dimension of 1 inch from the rear. Okay, so we're going to come forward 1 inch, and then we're going to come over 3/4 from this side and 3/4 from this side. Okay, so that'll give us the boundary of this area. So let's go back to the tools here, and we're going to click on the tape measure tool this time. This is also used, this can measure and also create guides. So we're going to create some guidelines here to help us draw accurately. So I'm going to snap or lock my mouse on the back edge, and then I'm going to come forward, and note that I'm going along the green axis. So I'm going to type in the distance as 1 inch. And then I'm going to do the same thing from the left and right. So the left side gets 3/4, and then the right side gets 3/4. So now we have the outline that we need. So I can use the rectangle tool or the pencil tool to draw this. So I'm going to use my pencil tool. Now one thing you should note here, as we draw, the lines appear thick and dark. As soon as I enclose this shape, they're going to appear thin. So that's a visual cue that tells you that you have a surface. There we go. And then the height of this is going to be 1 1/4. And we get that dimension by taking 2, subtracting 3/4 from it, and that leaves us with 1 1/4 for this height. There we go. So I'm going to type in 1 space 1/4 for the distance. Okay, so now we've got our rough shape figured out. We don't need these guides anymore. We can either erase them individually by using the erase tool and either clicking and dragging over them like this, or you can go up to the edit menu and hit delete guides. So now that we've made some progress with the file, I'm going to go ahead and save it. So let's do a file save. And then it's going to ask me where I want to save it. So I'm going to create a folder on my D drive for these projects. So you can see here I have a bunch of other folders here. So I'm just going to create a new folder. And I'll call it SketchUp Projects. You can call it whatever you like. Okay, so now I'm in my SketchUp Projects folder, and then I'm going to name this project number 1. So that's how you save a drawing. Okay, so now let's put in these grooves here, or slots as they're called. So this slot is 5/8 from the edge and 1/2 inch down and 3/4 inch wide. So let's do that one first. So I'm going to come down from the front surface here. I'm going to use my guides tool or tape measure tool, and I'm coming down 1/2, and then I'm going to come over from the left 3/4 or 5/8, and then another 3/4, and then I'll draw my lines. There we go. And I'm going to use my push-pull tool again, this time to create this void. And I'm going to go all the way to the back surface. So that creates my surface. Now it looks like I have an extra line here. Let me get rid of that. Okay, now let's do the bottom slot. So this one has a distance of 1 1/16 over, and then 1 3/8 wide, and then 3/8 up from the bottom. So we'll go over 1 space 1/16, and then from this guide we're going to come over an additional 1 space 3/8, and then we'll come up from the bottom 3/8. There we go. And then we'll draw our lines, and then push-pull through. And you can rotate your view as you use the push-pull tool, which is kind of convenient. And that does it for the solid. So now I'm going to delete my guides and then save my drawing. Okay, we're about 11 minutes in, so why don't we create some scenes for this? So over here in the view menu, you can go down here to animation and hit add scene. So this creates a scene for your object. And what this does is it stores settings. So we can create a variety of different scenes here. So let's try this. So let's go over here to the right, and we're going to go here to styles. So right now we're in the simple style. So we can go here to assorted styles, and you can change this to whatever you want. So let's try this chipboard with fine marker style. See the difference? So now I'm going to rotate around a little bit and give myself some different rotations here. So I'm going to right click as soon as I have the scene that I want, I can right click here and hit update. Okay, now let's create another scene. So I'm going to hit add here by right clicking. So now let's go to a different style. So I'll use this whiteboard with dry erase marker. See the difference? And I'll just change the view a little bit and update. So now if I click back on scene 1, see how it changes back to the original setup? And you always have to remember to hit update as you change these scenes. Okay, let's do 2 more. And then I'm going to try a different style here. So I'm going to go down here to sketchy edges. Let's try something that looks like a hand-drawn sketch. There we go. So I'm going to set that for scene 3. Update. And then finally, scene 4. I'm going to use this style builder competition winners. This is kind of nice to use. And let's do a view like this. Update. Okay, so let's cycle through the different scenes. So here's scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and scene 4. Great. Okay, well that about does it. When we come back, I'll create a part 2 of this video. When we come back, we'll show you how to use the layout software. Thanks.